And we are back at News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO Mornings with Matt and Dave. And on line one is Jerry. Good morning, Jerry. What's on your mind?
Well, hello, gentlemen. How's everything?
We're doing good.
Wow, man, Jerry, I'm sorry. It's time for the Car Pro. I thought this was just General Jerry. Gosh, I didn't watch the clock. My bad. How are things with the Car Pro this morning?
Oh, everything's good, guys.
It looks really good to me.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, I sent you guys pictures and a few little stats yesterday.
Yeah, you've been riding around. You've been riding around like the king, haven't you?
Oh man, I tell you what, this is the Jaguar F-Pace SVR model, which is their fastest SUV. 550 horses under the hood.
Wow.
0 to 60 in right at 4 seconds, which is amazing for an SUV. And it tops out at 176 miles an hour.
Did you get it up there?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, did you test this 176? Are we sure? Did you verify that it can get to 176?
I've got the rest of the week to get it done.
Jerry, I want to ask you something seriously.
Sure.
Why does a car need to go 100? I mean, a car you're not going to go
Why
race
would you
on
even
the
ask
track.
that question, Dave?
Why would the car need to go 176 miles an hour?
It doesn't need to, but if it will, I mean, it really, this is more about performance and acceleration and sound, believe it or not. The exhaust sound coming out of this thing is amazing when you guys see the video next week. And I got on as hard as I could from a dead stop, and you'll be able to hear the exhaust sound clearly. It's exhilarating. I mean, there's just something about it. Dave, I don't know the answer. Of course, you don't need a vehicle that'll go 176 miles an hour, but doggone, it's fun getting there, you know? Fuel economy, not so much, but just an overall nice vehicle. Now, if you guys recall, I had the Range Rover Sport SVR, which is a sister vehicle to this, same engine. The Range Rover was putting out 575 horses out of the same engine. Both of them are 5-liter V8s. They're just tuned differently. But the funny thing is, this Jaguar is quicker because it's much lighter than that big Rover was. So this one feels even faster, although it's got 25 less horses. It's all-wheel drive, so you know it's weighted to the rear wheels. But when you really get on this thing hard from a dead stop, it distributes power to all four at one time, so you never even hear a tire.
You're not going to burn the wheels, huh?
No, I don't. You'd have to take the traction control off to make it do that, and I haven't tried that yet. But you know, the difference between these two is pretty remarkable because that Range Rover, although a little larger, was $135,000, and this one is $90,000. I almost said only $90,000. This one's only $90,000, and I tell you what, you can spend that on a Chevy Tahoe today.
Oh,
that doesn't have near the performance this thing does.
No, I'll tell you, it's really pretty. In fact, before you told me, I kind of thought it was closer to a car than an SUV, just because of how slick the lines are on it.
Yeah, it's low profile for sure. Big tires and wheels, 22-inch wheels, and some really meaty tires on the ground. Interior's fantastic. It's just beautiful. They really did a nice job. And this thing's got panoramic moonroof, of course. It's got a good-sized back seat and a decent cargo area in the rear.
So with those,
a real performer.
With those low-profile tires, how's the I guess the ride, the comfortability of the ride?
You know, it's got several different drive modes. I've tried them all. There's one that's called Eco that's really boring. And then you've got Comfort, and then you've got Dynamic, which is where I've been most of the week. But in Comfort mode, Matt, it's not bad. I mean, it really does ride pretty well. I was a little surprised. Now you get it in Dynamic and you stiffen up those dampers and things. You know, it's a little rough on when you hit a pothole or something along those lines. But just for everyday driving and comfort, it's good. It's
Hey,
really
Jerry,
good.
can you explain to a novice the difference, or what is the difference between all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive?
Four-wheel drive, you have to engage. Typically, there's a switch on the dash,
Right.
and you turn it on. All-wheel drive, it does everything for you. And some people like it both ways. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that want to be able to turn it on and off. They don't want to rely on the car to do it. But the systems today are really, really sophisticated. If it feels any slippage in any one of the wheels, it'll apply power to the opposite wheel. And when that happens, you're not going to get stuck anywhere.
And that's actually become a fairly popular thing. I mean, back in the late 90s, it started coming out, but now you see it in a lot more vehicles, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Subaru's made their name on all-wheel drive. Mm-hmm. And people who buy Subarus all over the country don't need all-wheel drive. But what we've learned over the years is all-wheel drive is great for performance, not just bad weather, which a lot of people for years thought, okay, we don't get a lot of ice and snow in Dallas, so I don't need all-wheel drive. Well, it does make a difference in the way the car performs, and it certainly makes a difference in the way it drives and handles. I'm a big all-wheel drive fan.
So what do you have going on CarProUSA.com?
Well, we've got some stories going up later today. We did get the sales reports out. If anybody's interested in how the car companies did for August and the top 25 selling models. But the big thing is a recall from General Motors. Oh, my goodness, guys, this is a big one. 3.46 million of their most popular vehicles. We're talking about Silverado, Escalade, Suburban, Tahoe, Yukon, all from 2014 to 2018, and it's a brake issue, so it's something that is serious. And I'll give General Motors credit. They jumped out there and got on this thing quickly. They're already notifying people. So the best thing to do if you've got one of the affected vehicles is call your dealer and get on a waiting list so that when the parts come in for this fix, it can be done. And in the meantime, be very, very careful.
So now I'm looking through this top 25 models year to date, and what I notice is that the top 3 are small SUVs, and that Honda Civic is beating the Toyota Camry right now.
Yeah, it is. Now, remember this, that Ford, General Motors, and Fiat Chrysler only report quarterly.
Right.
So those numbers for August, we don't see their numbers. We know F-150 is going to be at the top. It has been for 42 years. But I find it interesting to look at that list without, the F-150 and the Ram truck and the Silverado to see where everybody else falls in.
Yeah.
And, SUVs, absolutely going to be near the top. There's just more and more coming out on the market every day.
Okay. Well, Jerry, as always, we want to remind people that your show is on live every Saturday right here on KFYO from 11 to 1. And we can go to CarProUSA.com and see all that's new with the Car Pro.
And this Jaguar will be posted on Monday, and you said you'll have video, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
Got
wait.
a lot of video with this thing yesterday.
Yeah. All right, Jerry, thanks for calling in.
Talk to you later. 7:44 a.m. KFYO Mornings with Matt and Dave. More in a moment.